It still says going live with the spinny circle thing. Now it says you're live,
The
and now we're
spinning
live, I guess.
circle.
Spinny circle of truth.
And
Spinny
sometimes
circle
doom, and sometimes happiness.
of loading.
Yeah. Of loathing.
Schrodinger's spinning circle.
Mmm. Yes. But speaking of Schrodinger, check out today's edited video released. Are Mariner's parents divorced?
Oh,
We're currently in the state of we don't know which. They could be both, could be neither. So go check out our deductions because yeah, that's very much a Schrodinger situation. So
absolutely,
see what I did there?
absolutely. They are both divorced and not divorced until we open that box.
Exactly.
So, guys, just want to make sure you can all hear us and that we
Yes.
sound good and all
Yes.
that. And welcome back, everybody.
And as you always say, if you can't see us, let us know now.
And if you can't hear us, you probably won't be saying anything until you say we can't see or hear you, I guess. I don't know.
And if you definitely can't hear us, say we can't hear you, Samuel.
Right. And if you can't hear Samuel, say we can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what I said. Whatever. If I'm just like sitting here with my mouth moving and you're not hearing anything, tell Samuel and vice versa. Brunt, FCA, formerly known as Fleet Paw. Hey guys, hit that like button and show the guys some love. Well, we have 23 likes with 23 people watching, which is pretty great.
That is pretty great.
A second ago, we had 23 likes with 19 people watching. So, and I know we started this with like 16 likes at least before people even.
Nice.
So that's awesome. We do have a super chat as well, so we'll read that one. This is from Olivia. She can't be here for the rest of the live, but she did say this will be she puts in $10, which is great. This will be a sad episode considering from Picard we know that artificial life forms are banned in the Federation. Then that means Peanut Hamper will be in a scrapyard in just a few years. Peanut Hamper. Somebody's going to name their dog that now.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. But I'll start sharing to get the audience in to let us know.
Please,
let them know we're live. Because yeah, let's talk about the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
See you in a minute.
All right, guys. So as you saw, Olivia super chatted, which was great. If you guys can, please do and support the channel. You can join the channel at the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral. You guys know the routine by now. And go ahead over to Patreon. It's another great way. So just PayPal if you want. The PayPal information is down there. Just send your PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Let us know in the chat that you sent to PayPal, though, so we can actually read that via the email, and we can read your comment or question that way. So we usually pull out good comments and questions from the general chat, but if we to be guaranteed that yours gets read, super chat's a great way to do so. So anyway, this is the predictions for the final episode, the season finale of season 1 of Lower Decks. There's not much to go on in the preview, but there are a lot of things that happen during the course of the season that maybe we can speculate on as to what's going to happen. So and Ozzy throws in $5. It's peanut butter hamper time. Okie dokie. Skeleton hands. Yeah. I think peanut butter hamper is better than just peanut hamper. But anywho, yeah, so all the ways to help out the channel are listed down below the description of every video. There's links, there's ways to join the community, have your voice heard, interact with us. That's fun and engaging and does support the channel. So we really appreciate all that stuff that you guys can do to help us out. So please do so. BJ Vincent throws in $2. The crew learn Beckett is the daughter of Freeman. Well, not the crew necessarily. All we know is that Boimler knows, and Boimler is the only one that's interacting with her in the preview that is showing that he in fact knows. So, did he tell anybody else? Probably not at this point. I'm sure he will at some point if Mariner pisses him off or something. Who knows? But yeah. And Wouter215, it's an ensign pip. Absolutely, it's an ensign pip. The EXOCOMP is an ensign with really big feet. I always thought the EXOCOMPs had really big, funny-looking feet. kind of like clown shoes. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how the EXOCOMP works into this and how much of the actual plot it's going to be in. Is it going to be a major part of the episode, or is it just going to be like a small part? Which I think it might probably be a small part, honestly. But we'll talk about that in a second. Hezraz, I see now. Peanut butter hamper is an ensign. My bad. Is it peanut butter hamper or peanut hamper? Because I think peanut butter hamper is so much better. Let me just see if I can hear what it says here.
Hi, Stuart.
Yeah, it's just peanut hamper. Hello, Samuel. I think peanut butter hamper is a better name, but it's just peanut hamper.
Well, Stuart, we know that is the best possible name. So we got to trust Mr. EXOCOMP, Mrs. EXOCOMP. Yeah.
Trent says, did it go to the academy like Data? Probably. It is wearing an ensign's uniform. Or it has one painted on anyway.
That's a really interesting question. Huh.
You would think it would have to get a commissioned officer's rank.
So when they're assigned a lab partner, there's the Andorian EXOCOMP.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be an interesting year, but imagine like an EXOCOMP subset of the year. So there's like humans, Tellarites, Gorn, 4 flying EXOCOMPs. It's like, yep. Welcome to the class of 21, 23, 92. God, the EXOCOMPs are really taking over. There's 19 EXOCOMPs in this year. Gosh, I'm gonna. For those who don't know, I'm gonna Google which episode that was and find a screen cap.
I think it's one we've already reviewed.
Ooh.
We haven't? Okay, well. And BJ Vincent does throw in $2 and says the crew learn Beckett is the daughter of Freeman. And like I said, I don't think it's the crew necessarily. It's Boimler. Boimler is bothering her about it in the preview. Whether he tells the rest of the crew or not probably depends on whether Mariner pisses him off or not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he would be telling everybody necessarily.
No.
So
it's from TNG season 6, episode 9. So pretty late.
Oh, wow.
It does come from they're sort of running out of ideas seasons.
What's the episode called?
Quality of life.
Because
I don't remember either, as in like what necessarily happens. Although George's got a beard, so that's something.
So the EXOCOMPs are the B story? Because quality of life sounds like, it's like the one where Worf breaks his back or something. It sounds like another A-plot theme. I don't know, man.
No, it's an anomaly. No, it's all one big plot, I think. Although Brent looks a little older now. Alright, so let's find... I've got a picture.
Well, Gary Davis Jr. throws in $5. A time travel episode guest starring Shatner. I mean, sure, why not?
Or alternate universe, because then he can be old Shatner, because the voice does not sound like 2245 Shatner, or even 2267 Shatner. I believe that's in 67, is that? I just have a country and generations take place 6 months apart.
Yeah, I would buy that. That's kind of depressing though when you think about it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's the official novel. I listened to it once. And it's just like, yeah. So it gets decommissioned. The Bee's ready to go. Like it's amazing that Kurt doesn't even know the Bee's being built. It's like,
it's okay. It was in dry dock and it had the name Yorktown on it, but they painted over it, just like they did for the Enterprise.
Yorktown A. They're like, no, shh. Enterprise again. But it is very strange. 23 no, it's 20 off. Yeah, quality of life. Dave discovers a group of robots they believes qualify as life. That is the baseline. And that was made in 1992. Getting close to my birth. Wow. But yeah, Stuart, season finale. How do you feel as a general? Here we are. We watched 9, we've got 1 left, and that one is in the next sort of 48 hours.
I feel sad. And I feel shocked. So I
Mm.
remember hearing about Lower Decks and like, ooh, and then the build up to Lower Decks,
Vegas.
and Lower Decks is Yeah, and Lord X is like a week away. Ooh, wonder what it'll be like. And then now we're at
pleasant
the
surprise when it was actually good.
now at the last episode. God damn.
Oh.
I'm kind of shocked. Before we talk the discussion, though, Olivia Julius, $5.
Hey, you are
New
here.
name for the Jeffries Tube
You weren't
monster.
here.
It is now
Ooh.
Cashew Basket. That must be the second most best name.
Oh, clearly. I think you can tell by the genius of it.
Prime1351 puts in $5.
Hey.
I hope we get a surprise cameo, a cliffhanger for season 2. I'm sure we will. I think all this Boimler bothering Mariner about her mom and the EXOCOMP thing, it's going to be a small part of the actual episode. I think they deliberately left a lot open for this one to kind of surprise us with something big. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There's 3 plots in the trailer, but that doesn't tell us how big they actually are. So yeah, I'll answer the question I asked you. How do I feel about it being the season finale? Yeah, I mean, it's been a good road, a surprising road. Not long enough. And I appreciate that this show has risen to the occasion so well that we were going in sort of how I feel about Prodigy. Like we can't really take it that seriously because it's such a kid's show where they can really take things to the extreme. This has been so grounded, 8 times out of 10, that we've been able to take it as full canon, which obviously it's being treated as, but have these amazing debates about a cartoon. Like I doubt if we were watching TOS the animated series, we'd be having such debates. You know what I mean? If that, not that it feels necessarily too far out, but to be just like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. Is this canon? I don't know. You know what I mean? But this, they've put so much love into that, and it's been really nice. Considering how Picard and Discovery have been throwing away canon for the most part, Picard adding to it, but throwing away the vibe at least. I mean, this has felt like us reviewing Star Trek for the first time new. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we haven't had to complain about canon. If anything, and Picard did do a few things like on yes, I've forgotten some of their names. The main lady, Daj. On her, Soji, her table has like a piece of paper with a drawing of a book that was in Voyager. Like there is very good little references, but for the most part they're either too subtle or don't matter. And Lower Decks, it's always surprising what they pull out of their arse, and they're always for the most part good. So it's and it'll be definitely a culture shock about Discovery. We hope they've learned the lesson of season 2, which is be better, plan it, don't rewrite it again for the 3rd time, etc. And so it's sad that but hopefully they'll end on some sort of cliffhanger with a sting. That's worked for the truest 2 discoveries. Didn't get it for Picard really, but they didn't know where they were going. Obviously, they hadn't written it. But yeah, it's well, honestly, next thing I'm looking forward to is Mandalorian. That's the next thing I'm looking forward to, and that's not long either.
October 30th, yeah. God.
Gosh, yeah. We'll still get a bit of Trek before we get some good wars. I mean, might not be good wars. Don't know. Although, have you seen any of Rebels and Clone Wars know who Ahsoka is? Because she's meant to be finally appearing.
Of course I know who Ahsoka is.
You say that like you don't.
No, I do. She is Anakin's Padawan. Like, duh.
You sound so sarcastic.
I'm not, though. I clearly know who Ahsoka is. If you don't know who Ahsoka is, you're a goddamn moron. You don't have to watch the stuff to know who Ahsoka is.
Guys,
I'm not really excited about her showing up, to be honest. I don't really care, because I don't know her.
Oh, me either too much. I mean, I watched some of it, but she was, it's more just the fact they're including all the canon. It's just exciting when they bring canon to canon,
Yes.
But didn't he sound sarcastic, guys? And we all know Stuart.
Never sound sarcastic. What the fuck?
That was sarcastic!
It was clearly not sarcastic.
No, I mean the thing you just said was sarcastic.
No, it clearly wasn't.
Sue's tone!
Just like this is not sarcastic.
We've gotten good at acting in this show. Sometimes.
I act like I like you every day.
So anyway, let's get into the actual bits. And guys, super chat your thoughts. Which you like people have done already. We'd actually love to hear your thoughts on where the thing's going. But yeah, first scene, they are somewhere in.
I guess I should pull up the picture, shouldn't I? That
Yes,
would be
you should.
helpful.
Now this actually says an easel, which is weird. They're in not just off-duty, they're in civilian-feeling clothing. No delta. There's normally a delta. They're chatting informally, but they are beamed, so not on a holodeck. So
They're also beamed mid-sentence.
Yes.
And they're talking about her mom.
Yes.
So I think that's funny. And then the next scene is her mom. But
It's not
I don't
the same.
think. No, it's cut funny that it makes us think that. So
yeah, I mean it's a good cut, but it's also completely wrong. So, although it's interesting. Let's start with the first scene first because this is such an unusual beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're probably in art class or something because we've seen how many times in TNG have we seen them painting a naked woman or whatever. It's one of those leisure activities aboard the ship. So
you think she's beaming them from inside the ship to the bridge? Why would she do that?
Maybe they are on a planet. I mean,
well, that's why I'm asking. Like, what do you really? So what would the scenario be then to beam them out of the ship into the ship?
Well, she's probably beaming them like to her ready room or something because her little spy network of like microphones that are everywhere heard your mom's the captain or your captain's the mom or the captain's your mom, and then she's like, she got to beam them because she doesn't want anybody to know. I don't know. I really don't know the scenario, but I think it doesn't look like they're on the ship. Normally, it would be like in like a redress 10 forward that they're doing this painting.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, really, but I don't know. He's making fun of her, and the captain cuddles and kisses, and then he gets beamed. So it's hard to say. But they do beam in front of her on the bridge, actually.
Yeah.
But he's making the face.
No one at the front two consoles for some reason, which obviously not the same shot because are manned. And well, we haven't always seen them manned because sometimes they're meant to be manning them. Although Mariner is in a uniform, she's just put. So obviously they're in a location where it's hot, but they are on duty still, sort of. For Brad to take his jacket off is quite an unusual thing. So maybe they're doing something really informal.
Well, I did see another still that was released for this episode where they're on a planet. She's got her uniform tied around her waist, and they're talking to some aliens. So.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that sort of stuff, but that's there. I assumed it was a planet. So I'm guessing this is the pre-tell sequence, although I was thoroughly confused while watching this straight after the last, as obviously you do. The fact that Brad is so like, oh my god! And this scene, he's like, hey girl, I know. Like, that's a hell of a tonal shift from being scared to blatantly, I know girl. I was very surprised by that. I don't know about you, but I was like, what? That doesn't match.
He's not afraid to tell Mariner, I guess. Just he doesn't want the captain to find out. But yeah, it was a little bit, something that has to happen here where she's got something over him, and he's like, you think you're clever, but I know this, and I know something you don't know. Olivia Julius, $5. Stewart is Captain Sarcastic. I guess she's talking about Patrick Stewart, though.
I mean, that is how you spell Patrick Stewart's name, as opposed to Stuart Foley, yes.
Sorry, I was saying I don't know a Stewart that's spelled that way, so it must be Patrick Stewart that she's talking about.
Yep. Even I got that. So I was surprised by this scene because maybe I'm wondering where we are getting these. We are starting to learn the Lower Decks way and kind of guess what happens. If this is the first scene, I almost want to think there's a first scene where he's talking to one of his friends, as in Tendi about it, and they're just like, "Oh, you should talk about it." He's like, "What?" Or you could use that for something or whatever. But this is probably the first scene. I think kind of. I don't think the mum's beaming them because she knows. I think that she may find out at the end, but I think it's more how these crew react rather than the higher ups reacting.
Yeah, it's funny because the way when she beams him, he's doing the, and then so she beams him up and she sees that, and she just had the interview with him where she's like, Mariner, or he's like,
Yeah.
Mariner's hot. Oh no, she's nasty.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so maybe she's mad that she thinks that they're having a relationship or something, and Boimler's no good for my daughter or whatever. And it looks actually like the next scene where you see the kind of like the. And the only person that looks mad is the captain there. Obviously, that's not the scene that's preceding the one we just saw because there's people in the ops and helm station. But
okay, you know what I'm gonna say then? What if? And so let's take these couple of things. I'm gonna say that starts out with on a planet doing something together. They've picked the assignment together. They're working on it, and Brad hasn't got his uniform. It's set up to be on a bench like close by, and she says, "Captain to Boimler, Ensign Boimler." He can't hear, but it opens the channel, and then all we hear is the second half of the conversation of him saying, "Oh, gonna kiss you," and she's like, "What? To my daughter or to what?" That's inappropriate, and then beams him up because she's like you said, the daughter role. Everyone's like, this is awkward. She doesn't like scream my daughter, but you get this like, why is she ever reacting so much? Then they beam up, and then it's just like, Boimler, no fraternization with one of the crew. Could be. I would say this is them listening to the call, or you know what I mean. I think that could be hence why he hasn't got a uniform.
Could be.
On.
Could be. That makes more sense. But then with them beaming up, then the scene where they beam up, there's nobody at the ops or the helm station.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Brunt FCA throws in $2. Made it to that 50 mark. Let's get to 100 and make Brunt pay. Well, 104 people watching, 57 likes. We can easily get to 100 likes, I would say. So hit the like button.
And John Ansel says audio is super low. John, don't.
Is that for everybody? I mean, sounds good to me when I listen to the feed.
Listened as well. Maybe reset, John. I mean, is everyone else's audio fine? We listened to it beforehand. And we do have a new way of testing each time, so loud and clear on our end.
Yeah.
But I think this will be the pre-tell. I think we have to get through these scenes quite quickly, because remember, and it wasn't so much that I felt underwhelmed, but Mike promised epic final episode, and it was epic, but it wasn't like it was all fake epic. Like we didn't get a Kirk or a Picard or an epic shit with Romans. Like it was epic, but it wasn't like a gonna remember it for years epic. It was that was the holodeck episode epic. Well,
and apparently this is the one where we find out the ship does something that's like saucer separation but different.
Well, there you go.
So my feeling is this will be the pre-title sequence where they get caught doing something stupid, and then the EXOCOMP comes on board. Tindy's obviously excited about that because she's waiting by the shuttle or whatever, and then something's going to happen with the EXOCOMP, and maybe the ship's going to become alive, become sentient, and do something funky. Hopefully, I want to see some kind of cool mode that the ship has that we were kind of promised.
Well, yes. Well, let's keep going. So yeah, the beaming, arm put on the chairs, which is a bit weird. And then you get to so then you get Rutherford's. This is the third story. He's got an update, and he has these different modes, viewing modes.
And frame by frame, I had to get these because they went so fast.
So read them out, Stuart.
So first is sexy mode.
And this is what you see. He's not being sexy, this is what he's seeing.
Yes, and it goes by really quick. So even he doesn't see them this fast, I don't think. So sexy mode, passive aggressive mode, Klingon mode, extremely optimistic mode.
That's what he picks.
Yeah.
Which
I thought there was more than that, but
yeah, and I wonder if this is gonna have an interesting filter of the episode where every time we cut, like we're gonna pick certain moments where we cut back to Rutherford and it'll seem okay, and he's reacting in a really stupid way to the situation, and it cuts at someone else's perspective, and it's really like everything's on fire, like his brain trip, like edits out the fire in a corridor, and he's just like, oh, why is it so warm today? And Tin's like, are you okay? And it's like, we're on fire. I can imagine that sort of joke would come in, and that'd be quite entertaining. Because how else would this play a part? Or maybe he's doing some repairs on the ship, and then it just goes so.
Yeah, I missed some of that because I kind of cut out there, but I heard something about fire and how would that play out. So if you could repeat it, that'd be awesome.
I say, I was saying that if he sees, extremely optimistic, and say there's a fire in the corridor, and he sees it, and he doesn't see it, so the thing takes it out of his vision, and he just says, "Oh, why is it a bit toasty?" Looks at Tendi, he says, "How are you doing?" And he turns it off, and she's yelling, "We're on fire!" Cuts to the fire, and it's blaring. So I can imagine a situation where he's trying to fix something. He's been told to fix something, but because he's in an optimistic mode, he's got to turn it off. It's like, "Okie dokie, I fixed that," and then everyone's like, "You didn't fix anything." What?
Or he's in technical mode, or I'm sure there's different modes than what we see here, obviously.
Oh, like they've taken out the one that he actually does end on. Yeah, that could make sense.
Like technician mode or something, because he was really into his work. So
this is such a thing, though.
Yeah.
It can't be a throwaway joke. This feels like it's going to really affect how we see the rest of the episode. But yes, then we get the EXOCOMP, which, what did you think?
Before the EXOCOMP, there's a shuttle in the shuttle bay there called the Joshua Tree. Just wanted to point that out. It might be important to somebody. So, but yeah, seeing the EXOCOMP was kind of surprising to me. And I didn't even clue in right away, but it's clearly a Starfleet officer. It's got uniform painted on it. It's got the Delta, and it's got an ensign pip on the one side. So I was surprised to see it. I think EXOCOMPS are kind of stupid looking. I don't like the prop personally. And they have these huge like clown feet. I just think it looks silly, but it's interesting that they are sentient and now part of Starfleet. And again, yeah, Olivia's right with her super chat that it's going to be pretty sad in a few years when, synthetic life is banned in the Federation. What's going to happen with these guys? Or do they have are they grandfathered in because? Well, I guess they probably wouldn't be. That would defeat the purpose of the.
Yes, it would. Especially as these things were built, like legitimately built, and they're also robots. Like this is living robot life. These aren't organic.
Yeah.
And here's a direct side by side, and this is an incredibly well done replica. I mean, that is.
Oh wow.
That isn't 25% different. That's astoundingly good, and yet redesigned slightly to be able to incorporate the badge, etc. I didn't really clock it was a uniform. I clocked it was painted.
Yeah, I did too.
But yeah, the full uniform, and note wearing the medical shoes, which is white shoes.
Yes,
and that comes to play in a minute.
Medical EXOCOMP, yeah.
And yeah, so the impetus of the TNG one, which is obviously a lot, 20, 30 years back at this point for the context of the show. These things created being used were decided to be life. Now, just like Data's the first of his kind to be in Starfleet, yeah, maybe this is the first EXOCOMP. I mean, quite a ballsy thing to do in any way. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very odd play. I would never write this, but I'm like, okay then. I mean, it fits into canon, so sure. Although we're gonna get like I say, like comedy flashbacks to the Academy. Like it's zoomed by Boothby's like, "Hi, Bertha," like it sees Geordie. It's like, "Professor LaForge," or just like flying. Like,
yeah.
Or he's playing frisbee with everyone else, like because it has a holographic. Part of what you can create a holographic, like thing in the front tool.
Yeah.
Like it's playing frisbee with a little grabber. You can have some real fun with a little montage of EXOCOMP at university, basically.
I love how Tendy's so excited though, like it's a cute little dog or a cute pet, and I've calculated all the best name, and it's Peanut Hamper, which is like, oh my god, what the hell? That doesn't make any kind of sense, by the way, but that's okay.
But don't you kind of like it?
No, I don't.
Well, there you go. You're not part of the universe, apparently.
Like I said, Peanut Butter Hamper sounds better. But
yeah, I mean, in fact, this is the entire rest of the episode. So there's three plots. There's the Mariner, Boimler, and Mother, EXOCOMP, and Rutherford's vision. Now, in this particular screen cap, though, three things to note. Apart from they're all together, which is very unusual, the captain's in a sickbay biobed, implied to be hurt, because I've not seen this before. Boimler has some marks on his, or look to be blood on his arm, because again, these are intentional drawn details. And Mariner's chest thing is undone, which implies she's been through a situation. And Strax has got a cut wound and blood. Yeah. So someone or something has attacked the ship, hurt the captain. Captain's in some civil coma, and the EXOCOM is the only. So that probably what I'm going to guess now is happening is that the thing starts pre-title, and they get into a situation. The mum does something very heroic. The ship gets attacked. It gets damaged. She gets injured. They call for the expert, and we're like, we need the best expert in human, in human biology in the quadrant.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hello. And it's like, oh, that's really weird. And there has been a specialist, which is an EXOCOMP, which is like ridiculous, and it helps them fix. And then maybe Boimler tells, Boimler tells the mum, I know at some point, and then she forgets but doesn't really forget. That'd be a way of having like amnesia. But quite a lot in this moment, they're clearly under attack, clearly, and I said to you off screen that every episode's been 24 to 25 minutes. One was 23 and one was 26, but they're all about 25. The last one's 27, so they can push those minutes a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one is 27 to 30, to try and cram as much story in as possible, because I think, they're going to throw us some extra stuff.
I'm hoping so. I wouldn't mind a few minutes longer for sure. And it's funny you mentioned this scene, because I never cut any of this.
Yep. That's why these are important.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, they've been through something. I don't know, man.
Guess, have thoughts. Deduce.
I'm thinking. I honestly don't know. I like your idea that they call him this expert, and it just turns out to be this ensign EXOCOMP, which is great. But yeah, something serious went down, because you got the Shrax with the Kirk damaged shirt, and he's got a cut on the side of his shirt as well. There's not really a cut on the front though. It's just like a blood stain, which is weird.
Like something exploded, and the shrapnel has stabbed. I can imagine that they're going to get to a point where I think the bridge is going to be destroyed. It's going to explode, and it's just rocks. Just going to pour out like an avalanche of rocks. Just like, oh,
that'd be funny.
What?
Well, perhaps this is the impetus for the ship doing whatever it's supposed to do. Like, I wish we didn't know that, because now I'm like, have built up in my mind anything that this ship could possibly do, and it's probably everything I think is probably too cool compared to what it's going to be.
I mean, we haven't looked at the ship in detail. We have a sense of what it may be able to do. Although wouldn't it be amazing if it ends up being Spore Drive? It's like, this is the next Spore Drive ship. It's like, oh shit, that was all that going. It can Spore Drive.
And E.R. Mixon's craziest theory says, Trekyards, remember the mid-season trailer? For the rest of the season, yeah.
But that was mostly the movie episode. Can't remember, and obviously Q. I gave that away. But, I mean, they've got to end the season with a guest star. And the Admirals needs to be in it somewhere as well. Admiral Dad.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, you tend to have a synergy, a bookend. Especially given, like we said, he was a named actor, to give him 6 lines in your Star Trek appearances. I mean, to be fair, there are lots of one-off guest stars out of less. Fine, sure, but I feel like he definitely needs to be in it. Maybe even, here we go. The ship gets attacked, damaged, and they call out for the expert to help. And then it happens to be the dad is in the local area. He brings EXOCOMP. He brings in a ship, and obviously because he's an admiral, he has a real ship. So we see a Sovereign or a Galaxy. So that's like one of the references. Like a big ship comes in. Makes Furious look very, very small, which is part of the effect. Then they bring aboard that, and then he walks in, and now suddenly Boimler, who knows the truth, and then he watches how Mariner deals with him, and like he's like, oh, and he's your dad. She's like, shut up. Then you get to hear that dynamic, and then maybe whoever attacked them comes back, then you get this fight between this bigger hero ship like the Galaxy or whatever, and then Furious has to do a special maneuver to help win the situation with the dad as the admiral. But because the dad admiral knows what Mariner can do, he gets Mariner on the bridge and has to do some really sexy, clever maneuvers that he knows she can do. And everyone's like, how do you know Mariner? And so you get to see Mariner doing good stuff, and Brad is working on something else, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of how I would take it. And even if you had like them, because they don't want to bring back heroes as primaries, so maybe you could have back Armin Shimon as a evil Ferengi or a Romulan, an off-kilter part. Or have a classic, just another Romulan as well, whatever. So they're facing, or even bring back an original villain. I mean, there are plenty. Sealer, that's obviously going a bit too far, but bring back someone like that. Even if you defeat them instantly, like with Q. I don't know. What do you think?
Damn, you said a lot there.
Yep.
I don't know. I would love to see anybody come back. I like the idea of bringing back like a Romulan character, let's say the guy from Data's Day. Remember the one that gets that's talking to them on screen after they get the lady back.
Mhm.
Somebody that's
Oh yeah,
they say the name and you're like, that sounds familiar, but you don't remember what episode it's from because it's like a one-off.
I mean,
that'd be cool.
Dinatra. I mean, I know I'm more keen to bring her back, but I mean, we'd all recognize the voice and etc.
E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. We'll have to repel them the old-fashioned way. That's this episode. So from the mid-season thing.
What do you think about the Admiral coming in with a ship? And if we get to have the reference of a ship?
I would love to see another ship. That's a canon favorite as one of the special things in this episode. And I love the idea of a dwarf in the Cerritos.
Yeah.
Because we talked to Mike McMahon about the size of the ship, and he's like, well, I think you got a little bit too big.
Yeah, he's very conscious about that.
Yeah.
And it is strange we haven't really seen as many cannon ships. Obviously, they're in certain quadrants, etc. But, you know, I'm sorry to the team. I don't buy that those side ships we saw are like pride of the fleet. No offense to the team, but an Intrepid, a Galaxy, a Sovereign, any of these things. And it doesn't have to be Enterprise, obviously, to have the similar visuals. And I mean, what a great way to you know, make the fans happy. And since it's a big fleet, and it also works as a Discovery Season 1 effect, whereby you bring back a legendary ship. Okay, not quite the same thing, but it's like, oh, there's a Galaxy, and then I still like the idea that Spirit is still the hero of the story, and so its maneuver does win, even though there's this big Galaxy. And some haters could argue, wow, the Galaxy looks stupid. You know, it was Enterprise D character for 7 years. It's like, oh yeah, but they're fighting with phasers, and you fight with your plasma conduits or your Bassards. And to be fair, I might call it there, the Bassards. Something about the Bassards. They're open. We know they have panels that haven't been used yet, which was, you know, one episode left, Mike. You teased us.
Yeah.
One episode, so I'm going to guess they can store up more deuterium or matter or something, and it does something special. It's the Bassards, guys. The Bassards.
That being said,
okay,
they were working on season 2 when he spoke to us. So
I know.
if he incorporated something from season 2 into our, I want to be mad, but that's okay.
What do you think though, Bassards? Because they are very unique design.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing we pointed out since the beginning, that the nacelles in general are very unique, especially the way the Bassards are at the front.
Disjointed is a good word.
Yeah, and he did mention during our interview that the nacelles actually like open up like the hood of a car to work on them and stuff. So something going on there, maybe. Yeah.
So maybe it's a Riker maneuver. Well, obviously, if we recall from Insurrection, they bring in the gas, expel it. It's flammable. Obviously, that ship wasn't. I mean, it's a movie. It wasn't designed for it. It did it anyway. But this ship can do it, does do it, and it works great.
It'd be cool if the nacelles were like flamethrowers. like the crimson force field in the Packlet episode, but with like actually that do something, and they can just aim the ship at the bad guy.
Or maybe we're so advanced we can finally use a photonic cannon.
Ooh. Olivia Julius throws in $5. Is this an original EXOCOMP or are they reproducing? That's a very good question. Is it one from the actual episode?
I think it's only maybe 3 in the original episode. It wasn't very many.
Yeah, but maybe this is one of them. They've evolved and just got repainted for sure.
Oh, I think they're absolutely a species now. I think they're going to say even a flashback to the EXOCOMP planet. It's just like a planet, just them just floating and chatting. And
I can see the little replicator at the front that makes tools, just whoop, and a little EXOCOMP comes out the front. Dada.
Jesus. But questions of Trex is how are we doing? Stuart, how are we doing?
We are good. Thank you, question of Trek.
And Aaron Black, yes, I thought it was episode 9, but he might have misspoke. I feel like I can watch an interview at some point.
Yeah.
The Admiral should appear in a Parliament-class ship. I mean, yes, but it's not special enough. The MSD was a copy of the Cerritos, a little bit different, so it wouldn't be very satisfying. I mean, they've done the Olympic and Deredex and TOS Bird of Prey and Type F and Tholian and Runabout. I mean, the Dominion Bug Ship. They've done enough canon ships to they can. So it should be an Akira. It's kind of the obvious choice for a fan favorite that isn't a hero. Or Nebula.
Ooh.
Ooh, what?
Sean Corpier puts in a really good comment. What if the Cerritos attaches to other ships to enhance their power? It is an engineering ship. It's got the engineering stripe on it. That's very interesting, actually. Or be able to detach the nacelle to attach to another ship for power. That'd be kind of neat, too. I prefer the ship attached, personally, but...
That's a great point, because obviously... What's it done this engineering? Not a lot. I mean, it tracked that one thing one time, but guess what? Every ship can do that. Even runabouts can do that, and have. So it's certainly not. It's not lived up to its engineering name. And given the fact that at one point it was meant to do peace negotiations at Cardassia, that's not what engineering ship does. So I think Monica's a little bit of a red herring of like, we designed it one way, didn't end up being that way. But it would have been sad if it was limiting it for the show.
It's kind of neat that they're actually compartmentalizing ships now into department colors, like the uniforms. So turning ships into like characters essentially, depending on. And we've seen the California class in each other color, the yellow, the red, and the blue. So,
yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that because it changes.
I'm not either.
The parallel. This one blends in okay because we only have like it's designed that way. It's very integrated. But yeah, I wouldn't want to see like a Sovereign with a big red stripe on it just because. But again, it's not that sort of ship for sure. But guys, 89 likes. I mean, we're right there at 100. We're right there at
11 more likes, guys, to get to 100. We always hit at least 100 during these lives. We're counting on you guys. If you haven't hit that like button. We're at 110 people watching. Exactly.
It's just click and you're done.
And our friends at Question of Trek puts in £3.49. Or £5.49, sorry. Given they repurposed the EMH Mark I's, I wouldn't be surprised if Starfleet reproduced the EXOCOMPS, in my opinion. No, absolutely. I'm sure that they're making new EXOCOMPS at this point. Although, would it be Starfleet or would the EXOCOMPS be doing it? Because if Starfleet's doing it, you're creating a slave race, essentially.
Well, I haven't got a problem with that in Picard. Thanks, Picard, for ruining.
Picard doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. It does, but it doesn't. No, I think absolutely. This is like the one. This is like the Orion. It's like the one exocomp in Starfleet that chose to join. Because if they were procreating them, then they'd have no choice. No, I think absolutely it's and it would be kind of cool if Tendy's like, oh my god, we went to the academy together. That's the payoff. Went to the academy together, and she couldn't work out her name, and so she's finally.
I would buy it.
That'd be a great line, and they bonded because the only EXOCOMP in Starfleet and the only Orion Starfleet, or at least in that class. That's. We didn't get that sense in the trailer, but that'd be a good little stupid payoff joke. I'd like it. It'd be funny.
There's a few comments I want to address because they kind of all lead up to one. Shannon Nash says, "Cue the Voltron music." Luke Cullen says, "I like the idea, like a combiner transformer, but ships." And then Majin Shenron and Cerritos forms the head. That'd be great. I don't think Cerritos would be forming the head, though. Just saying. It's just a California class. So, Olivia Julius, $5.
Thought you weren't here today. You're very here for not being here today, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. I think tomorrow the captain will host a reaction live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be square. Absolutely, I will. And I'm looking forward to doing it, too, because it's the season finale. Hopefully it'll be a longer live as well, and you guys will be interested in chatting it up and talking about it, because I hope some cool stuff happens, and we see at least a cameo or two from a character or a ship, even, like we said, even in Excelsior. Even in Excelsior showing up and kind of ferrying the Dadmiral, as we call him, would be great.
No, beautiful. And yes, I will be actively avoiding Stuart's live, because then I get to...
Because he hates me.
Yep, because then I get to react to his first reaction live while talking to him. As I often, that's one of the funnest bits is saying, well, what do you think? Because I don't know. And it's like, oh, do we have the same opinions? Oh, we do. Oh, we don't. Oh, he loves it. Oh, he hates it. Oh. Yeah, that's good.
And Luke Cullen. So Picard is surely not in the same universe, right? Otherwise, they would have talked about the exocomps in Picard too, right? Not necessarily. They're not going to mention every artificial life form.
Luke, they didn't they didn't mention lore. They weren't interested in being thorough. They would have mentioned lore otherwise.
Or Lao, because
Or
we're
Lao.
talking specifically about
Yeah.
Data's daughter.
Yeah. Might have been the Pulitzer Prize winning author who wrote some of the stuff, but he didn't do a great job.
Yes.
But it's out on Blu-ray now. Buy on Amazon.com/Amazon.co.uk.
Is it actually out on Blu-ray now?
Yeah, it came out yesterday or today.
Ooh, somebody asked that for my Captain's Log Q&A, and I'm like, I don't know. Google's your friend. Or hit up CBS.
Well, it's out in America. I can't get it, but you might be able to get it.
I will take a quick look-see and see if it's available
There's
here.
a good amount of special features. It's not like a ton. I do miss them not doing commentaries for every single episode because you would think that would be. Although I saw they did a release of some of the special features and they're all done over Zoom because I guess they filmed them in lockdown. So it's all like, oh, so you filmed them like 2 months ago. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but you know they're not very like really sleek, high production value behind the scenes, which you kind of hope for.
Yeah, I love the behind-the-scenes stuff. So, yes, it is available on Amazon and here. So
It's not in the UK yet.
you can get it by tomorrow if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm definitely tempted to when I can get it. Although I don't really want to revisit Picard, it's kind of annoying because I'd like to go back and look at special features and see. But also, they're not special features nowadays are far more edited and forcibly promotional. I remember,
Yes.
some of the most interesting special features ever were the behind the scenes how they made the prequels for Star Wars because they actually included them making fun of things and talking bad and like it was a real like they were being honest. They were editing. They were real documentary makers. And then you look at especially Last Jedi, and it's like really glossy, only positive, really polished. You can tell they have only approved the good stuff. They're obviously going to only edit what they want you to hear. And at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't age well because guess what? Things were hard, and they don't want to go into the detail of how they made something because again, hard. So I think the Picard stuff, like they showed a clip, and it was all Kurtzman talking about working with a great group of writers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I know you enjoyed it, but you didn't come out with a good product. Let's talk about why you did the things you did, not that you enjoyed doing them.
Yeah.
Like I'm hopefully this Christmas filming some behind the scenes for my Temple Only fan film, which I released last year. I've got all these great behind the scenes videos and pictures from the time, which I've not ever looked at because obviously why would I? But I want to edit like a real, genuinely honest retrospective of everything, and I'll be scathing on the people and on myself, and give real stories because I want to remember the real stories, what really happened, and be really interesting. Not just well, the cast was great and we all got on really well, and it's all about family, Stuart. It's a story about family.
Please interview me, and I can say, yeah. And I had to put up with him through this process, and he would bitch and complain and whine and moan. I want to be on there too. I'm just kidding. It looks like Luke has not seen Picard, and Sean is saying would suggest watching it. The show isn't great or terrible. You should watch it and judge for yourself. And Luke says, thanks for the suggestion, but I've had enough of it from Red Letter Media.
Well, they've spoiled it, certainly. I mean, it's a better binge show. You shouldn't savor it. You shouldn't watch it. Just get through it and then move on. And that's really weird. Whereas, like with Mandalorian, you savor that shit.
Yes.
You stay there and you savor it.
Speaking of, I got to go back and rewatch all those before season 2.
I'll probably watch the last one again, but I am not going to watch them all. It's too many episodes.
I'm going to watch them all. They're not very long, and yeah.
Well, they're 45. They're full 45, 50 episodes, and there's 10 of them.
Well, some of them are 34 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you're
38 minutes. There's some stupid length there. I'll watch them probably in the space of like 3 or 4 days. It takes me to get through them all.
Yeah.
Olivia Julius puts in $2. I am here listening and helping load my trailer. Well, it sounds really, really dirty.
Well, hey! Good luck.
But hey, so in other words, she's helping load the trailer because she's a truck driver. So she's sitting there on the dock telling the forklift people,
the EXOCOMPS
doing something.
Should be here.
Exactly. She's just watching the fork truck.
She's put on the big screen so they can all watch us
Tribe in and out. Yes. Please share the Trekyards. Ask everybody if they like Star Trek, and then give them Trekyards.
Which they should, hopefully. I'm just going back to find... Because, guys, Olivia, who you guys all know, did do a Trekyards original with us. June 20th, 2020. The Class A transport vehicle, Cat, Trekyards original. Barry Chapman did the model. Lots of renders, lots of animations. Do go back and look. It is the truest of the space haulers in pre-NX. It's very unique.
Very important ship in the history of the Federation, as you will find out when you watch the episode.
It was sort of Amazon as well. I made that joke a few times. Yeah, go check that out. It's good.
Northwest Rail Fan, in terms of Lower Decks Season 2, would you guys want longer episodes, 20-ish minutes? This felt too short to me. Absolutely. I would love to see full 30-minute episodes.
Well, there aren't ad breaks, so they're over 30 minutes, isn't that? Yeah. So
that's what I mean.
It would have been 30 if they had breaks, but they don't. So
yeah, just a few more minutes each. We know we're getting 2 extra episodes in Season 2 because it's lined up for 12 episodes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they add more. They really need to add more.
Yes, I totally agree.
And for me, I'm always been impressed by their ability to both pace things well and fill up the time. I mean, most shows can't do that. Make a very short amount of time feel... Because honestly, they feel like longer episodes than, well, sometimes Picard. Because they just have more in, better paced.
Yep.
And that's like better filmmakers.
And you feel rejuvenated and good at the end of watching an episode of Lower Decks. You don't feel like depressed and you want to go slit your wrists.
Which is
and turn off the lights.
Because Mandalorian is the exact opposite. Very, very little happens, beyond little, but it feels like a lot's happened. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's that those are 2 very well made shows, and you stick Picard. Now Discovery does feel like it's got a lot in. That balances that better. It's just more crap. Anyway, so I would say 30 minutes, but I wouldn't want 40. I think the formula is what it is. Given those extra 2 scenes. Maybe even to make... I'm not the biggest fan of pre-titles per se, but maybe give them an extra minute of pre-title, have an extra twist, have an extra scene for characters. 30 is good. I mean, 27 felt like last week felt more crammed because it was 2 more minutes, and 2 minutes felt like a lot. So yeah, give them the 30. Or just 27 each time.
Plus, the last episode was cinematic based, so it felt a little bit longer anyway, just because of the style.
Yeah.
Brunt FCA throws in $5. 104 likes. Amazing. Let's get to 150. Keep clicking like. Hashtag make Brunt pay. Well, don't keep clicking like, because if you click it twice.
That's true.
I was just saying, just click it once. Don't click it more than once, because then you nullify your like.
Yes.
But go to your other accounts, not that you should do that, and click it from all of your accounts.
SWTX Chaser says, since Lower Decks is animated, no need for more fluff or filler. If longer stories, I want more story, no filler. Yes, that's a good example. But the thing is, there's fluff and there's filler that's also character based, as in a scene where Tendy's, like before the story is going, so Tendy with the Doctor doing something small that relates to the story. Like, it's not the most important scene, but it like adds to the character because we've really had a severe lack of that. I wouldn't want it to be filled with just reference bait, because I think they've had the balance so well for most of it. Most of them are integrated. If you don't have, 4 minutes does not mean throw in more references. Have a Khan scene just yelling Khan, etc. for 2 minutes. You don't need that. But yeah, more story. It's absolutely a good idea.
Tuning 3434 says, wasn't that bad actually, Stuart? You've had worse. What are we talking about?
I guess for losing the signal for a second.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Careful, Ray. No, we love it. It's great Trek. Best Trek since 2005. And for my dad, who's been a fan since Trek originally aired on television, back then, he says best Trek since Voyager. So one more show he goes above. If you don't like Voyager, it's best Trek since DS9. If you don't like DS9, he's the best Trek since TNG. If you don't like TNG, then you wouldn't like this. So that's a moot point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's remarkable how good it is.
Just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, that's cool. But don't
Well,
take the fun away from other people.
that's why I've always said about Picard and Discovery. It's like, you tell us why you like it. We can disagree, but you can still like it for those reasons. And, that's good. Good for you. Just as a filmmaker background, I'm going to see the problems more than most people, as in those levels of problems. And you can only accept so much bad filmmaking and bad quality before you say there, you know, like, especially when it's that expensive, because money tends to generate at least effort. But often it's just the people up top. It's like all the people in the art department are working their heart out. It's just if they're getting wrong direction. Stuart, Discovery Season 1, Brian Fuller. No, I don't want to look like any Klingon ship ever made. Oh, okay, boss. See, that's
Oh, by the way,
called a bad direction.
the Federation nacelles shouldn't be cylindrical.
No, but they've always been.
An XO1 they are, and this is between an XO1 and TOS where they are.
Franklin, that was in J. I mean, that was after as well, and then just no, John Eves, no. Oh, see, bad direction.
Yes.
Was this show great direction? And I know I'm in extremely optimistic mode. I know I am. See what I did there?
Yeah. I'm excited to see this EXOCOMP. I'm not a fan of the EXOCOMPs. Like I said, I think the design's kind of stupid, and I hate the big feet on it. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it works and whether it's going to be a big part of the story or just a small part. If the main part or the bulk of this episode isn't even revealed to us yet, would not surprise me in the least.
Well, the fact that we see her hurt in a bed, I mean, tells us that they're going to get attacked. Like, that's a whole lot of plot.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things like we need to have someone who can heal the Doctor. Who are we going to pick? Could be a human. It could be an alien. What if we do this? I think it's more like a joke within a reference within a joke. I mean, yeah, even though you might not be a fan. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be funny if the EXOCOMP's actually a EMH? It's got a mobile emitter. It shows the form of an EXOCOMP.
Be different.
Stupid, but interesting. Anyway, continue.
My survey says that of all 400 life forms in the Federation, you will find EXOCOMP the most pleasing to look at. Hello. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I still wish. I know it doesn't make sense as much canon wise, although you could argue it's an older ship. I still want to see a Rob Picardo EMH cameo. Like, they're in some life or death situation, and the ship is so destroyed, so damaged. She's like, "Oh, I swore I'd never do this again." Linked to First Contact. I don't EMH, and it's a Doctor. But what you could do the opposite to how you would normally play that, because she has used the EMH before. The EMH actually hates her because she's such a bitch to him. So as in Voyager, he got nicer. This version of the EMH got nastier because she's such a real cow to him. So he's like,
who, Dr. Tiana?
Yeah, because she hates EMHs. So like, he's actually even more obnoxious because he's been made to be. Like, you get to play that, worse than season 1 EMH. It'd be kind of funny. Like, not how I necessarily want to see Picardo come back.
Luke says,
I mean, it'd be definitely a way around.
Yeah. Luke says it's better than Disco, and I'm sure than Picard, but still lower than all classic Trek, in my opinion. I wouldn't say lower than all classic Trek at all, actually. It's right up there. Matter of fact, as far as pilot episodes go, this is probably one of the best pilot episodes in Trek.
Second best since after TOS. I mean, they've all been kind of shit. This is by far the best one.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is an example of you don't need to waste several millions of dollars to make a good season of Star Trek. You can do it the first time if you plan it out properly. This breaks the curse of bad first seasons because they don't know what they're doing. Like, this is a good first season. It's the first time, TOS being an exception. But in that, obviously in those eras, in that era of the 60s, everything had to be as good as it could be. You didn't get a do-over, except they technically did, but you know what I mean? Everyone had to really sink or swim, and they had a really, really good, I mean, TOS has a percentage of good to bad episodes is insanely high for a TV show. And it has a classic Trek. I mean, the problem is, like, Enterprise for me is very vanilla, but it's also live action, 4 seasons. I mean, it's got, if this is 10, that's, they reached 100, didn't they? So, 10 times as many episodes, so I think this has got easily a better first 10 episodes than Enterprise's first 10. So if you just go by that logic, it's better than all classic Trek's first 10.
And this is just season 1, man.
This is just season one.
Usually season 2, season 3 is where Star Trek kind of hits its stride. If Lower Decks starts off this strong, I'd love to see what season 3 and season 4 is going to be like.
And obviously it's half as long episodes, so you can't get as much story and character. So you got to think about it as obviously a different format.
Yes.
But I mean, we certainly. Oh, well, I was about to say we like the characters more than Enterprise, but I mean, you sort of like them. I mean, Tendi and Rutherford we know very little about, so we like them because they're likeable people, but not because we like them as people. If that makes sense. Boimler, he's an annoying-ish guy who's a bit. You don't want to see that, but it's still, he's there. And then Mariner's, too full of herself, too passionate, too shitty as an officer, but also very good. Mixed bag. And you like her because she's a hero, but not you like her. Like, I wouldn't want to serve with her. No offense to her, but the Enterprise crew would be fine too. The Voyager crew, especially, So they definitely aren't as likable characters, but again, they're given so little time to shine compared to any other shows.
Yeah. Tuning 3434 says, if this is season 1, I'm kind of curious where the series can go. They hit the ground on a good pace, but how far will this format bring it? Interesting you asked that, but I mean, you look at The Simpsons, they're in season 30. Like, I think you can do a lot more with animated shows.
Also true,
because there's a lot less limitations. This could be the longest running series of all of Trek at some point.
That's beautiful. That's a really good point, actually.
And we just don't know yet. Yeah, we just don't know yet.
Because the cheapest show they ever made.
One would think, yeah.
One would think. I mean, obviously, it get more expensive as it goes along, but cheapest show they ever made. Most creative, you could probably argue. Most creative. Definitely most reference filled, easily. I would think, in technicality wise, probably made by the biggest Trek fan, because TNG was made by, we'll discount Gene because he was the creator, and the team there was they would do something more as a job because there was 4 Gene, but they were fans of the original. There's only one show to be a fan of.
Yes.
Every show since, they tend to be enjoyers of Star Trek and normally fans. But this chap has been a fan of all the shows and has an encyclopedic knowledge. The further you go, the more there is to learn, the more you're a fan you are, because the further you're into it. So arguably the biggest fan of any of the Star Treks is now a showrunner. Yeah.
This almost feels like an animated Star Trek show we would have gotten if they had put Seth MacFarlane in charge, because it's kind of that same Family Guy-ish American Dad format.
Well, format maybe.
And love of Trek references and things. Unfortunately, I'm sure there's a universe out there somewhere where Seth MacFarlane is making Star Trek, and didn't get brushed off and kind of had to forced to make the Orville. But I'm happy for the Orville. Don't get me wrong. So.
And Router 251 says, isn't planning the thing that was missing from Discovery and Picard? Yes, they rewrote each of the seasons during the season and changed the endings each time. Loix feels like it was planned out 5 seasons ahead. Yes, I guarantee he has at least 3 seasons of his arc planned. Not necessarily the individual stories, but I mean,
just where the characters are going. Yeah,
or it could go. Things change, but he has an arc. He and that's the thing. You've got to build in that multiple season grandness, because that's what gives these shows weight. You can have episodic, and that's great, but the extra is what gives it extra.
Yeah, and Tuning 3434 says, if the storyboards are out, the show will have to run as originally written. Less chances of corporate shenanigans. See, that's the thing. This direction by committee of the producers nitpicking every detail, changing things last minute, and just all having a say. It's too many cooks in the kitchen, as they say. It ruins a lot of these shows, I think. And that's not how it was back in the day.
Especially if most of them are on the business side of it rather than the either filmic or Trek side. Yep, I mean, we've both said right from the start, this show clearly was not managed by Kurtzman. I doubt he barely went to any meetings or had any influence. This feels like a non-Kurtzman production, and guess what? It's incredible. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I hate that his name's executive producer Alex Kurtzman in every opening thing of this show.
I mean,
It just
same
bugs
with
me.
Rod in Discovery. He did literally nothing. He was off the project before season episode 1 even came out. So he has the credits, but has nothing to do with it. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
SW
oh, sorry.
oh, SWTX Chaser $3. I feel they are setting up character evolutions. Oh, absolutely.
And this is what you said a while ago. You can have animated series where, well, Simpsons, where time does not move forward. Technically, they're all still. That's why I kind of like the South Park. They did actually go up a grade for some reason, and that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they progress, I doubt obviously every year will be a new year, as you would say Voyager and whatever. But I wonder if they will get promoted. If that'll be part of their arcs. Is there the breadth to allow these people to get genuinely promoted? Obviously, with Mariner, we saw a double promotion for some weird reason. So she went into the, I'm now in charge of a more important stuff. But do you think they have to stay ensigns for 7 seasons for it to be the same level of whatever?
I don't think it has to do the 7 seasons thing. I just hope it doesn't get tired.
That's what I mean.
Because, yeah, well, who said that in the chat? I just kind of read something like that. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I stopped giving a shit about The Simpsons, and I really like The Simpsons. Stopped giving a shit about that probably at seasons 8, 9, somewhere around there. And same with Family Guy. I used to love watching New Family Guy, and now I haven't watched New Family Guy in a long time. It just feels so tired. I don't want that to be the case with this. I can see this having a spin-off show, though. I really can. At some point, like season 3 or 4, having a spin-off, like the EXOCOMPS medical show or something stupid. One of the side characters, or even Tendi leaving the show and having her own show or something. Very the Cleveland show kind of vibe. But I can see that being a thing eventually if this one proves popular. So I just hope it's good.
Okay, interesting. Well, I mean, yeah, I certainly, not that we expected the animated to be the best of the shows, but bring us an animated, Captain Worf. I know he's been pitching that show for a long time. There's so much potential, especially as you can have Gowron and Martok come back and not look like they're fat.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a picture with Bob O'Reilly, last year, and it's like that gut, those stretchy Klingon trousers are very important. Nothing against him, obviously. He's 35 years older, but he can still be the character in voiceover. I mean, he's literally doing it this year with Stowe. Okay, not as Gowron, but as a Klingon. So why not give, and as we said, an anthology show? Do it animated. Do the Star Trek anthology. It could be even called Star Trek anthology. Each season, one season could be Picard on the Stargazer, and you bring back Patrick Stewart. And because he films for 1 month, his paycheck is drastically lower. Star Trek Sulu, we're getting Excelsior season, 10 episodes. I mean, it literally writes itself. And with animated, maybe not in this exact graphical style, because that could be Lower Deck style or something similar is fine, as long as it's because I think honestly the problem with this Lower Deck style is the characters are so simple. The backgrounds are quite intricate. Is the characters kind of stand out as being simpler? Now I'm kind of looking at this shot. It's like it's vividly detailed, except the characters. But I mean, come on, guys. 10 episodes Excelsior with Sulu. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Print money.
I'm actually looking at a different shot. I'm looking at the shot of the inside the shuttle bay, or inside the shuttle with the EXOCOMP in the shuttle. And there's always detailed shit going on in the background. Yeah. Plus, we know what that looks like because we've seen TNG. So it's really, yeah, I totally agree with that. Olivia Julius, $2. New name, Walnut Can. That's his brother.
What do you think about doing, like I said, the animated one-off 10-episode mini anthology?
I would.
Because then Sulu will be Sulu,
Oh my! Like he'd be over exaggerated, I think, though.
Well,
especially if they do a Lower Deck style where it's like silly. Like, would you want it silly or would you want it serious?
No, it would be
because as soon as Exactly. You'd have to like change it up a little
Well, it wouldn't
bit.
be Mike
But
McMahon. It'd be Mike McMahon as a like Kurtzman as an executive producer of all of
yeah.
Modern Story. He produced to keep it canony, to keep it correct. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, you could have that little bit of Orville-esque, out of the box thinking. Like
Mm.
Voyager flashbacks. It was a bit silly. They in essence tasered Ran. You wouldn't do that normally, but it was unusual and fun in that context. So yeah, I mean, it just, my God. And you could literally make it in quarantine and have it out next year. George Takei signed on for the Star Trek Sulu 10-episode mini-series animated series from the team that brought you Lower Decks. I mean,
As soon as that was announced, though, people would be like, "They're gonna ruin Sulu, and it's gonna be not serious Star Trek," and because it's all you hear with Lower Decks. It's funny because a lot of the fandom aren't even talking about Lower Decks. It's like it's too good for them to review. It's better than they thought it would be, and then they can't trash on it. So it's what it feels like.
Yeah, that is a good. Yeah, because I think haters only go so far. Obviously, we've seen that the views aren't particularly good for us. We cover this because we love it, and those that love to see it.
That's because most of the world can't see this, so we're not getting all the views that we would get for something that is more widely available. Unfortunately.
Yep. But we know those that do watch this content appreciate the discussions, debate, and thoughts, and that's why we do it. You guys know we don't do this for the money, otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. We could be doing 3-hour hate streams, whatever, but that's not why we do this. And that's okay.
Area 51, $2. Badgie is hiding in the EXOCOMP. Dun dun dun.
That would be
That'd be terrifying.
That'd be terrifying.
Oh,
Gosh.
Man. Router 215, a 6-episode miniseries, Measure of a Man style court case show. No. No.
I mean, you wouldn't have 6 good ideas, I don't think. That's the problem.
Well, it would be one crime that they take over 6 episodes because a really long trial kind of thing. Lots of flashbacks, lots of.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like you wouldn't necessarily think Measure of a Man would be brilliant until you watch it, Or you wouldn't think it'd be the. So, if a thing's amazing, it's hard to say, "Damn, that's not amazing." But yeah, that's definitely an odd concept.
Shannon Nash's comment is amazing. Badgie is control. Control is Badgie. Badgie causes the burn. That'd be great.
Confirmed.
Yep. Hashtag double confirmed.
That's how we confirm things. People just say them in a Trekyards live stream. Don't you know? Don't you know?
And then we say it, and then somebody hears it, and then it becomes an article, and then it becomes. It's just snowballs, man. Okay, yeah. There are 4 people here that haven't hit like, says Brunt. Absolutely. Let's get. Don't know why he said that. Let's get to 125. Oh, we already did. 125. There we go. 126 now. 111 people watching, which is great. 126 likes, also great. If you haven't hit like yet, consider hitting like though. Just because we'd like to get that number a little bit higher if we can. It's always a good thing.
And we're about $9 from a round number. Same as yesterday. Again, not amazing, but we are here just to chat and have fun. So guys, do help if you can. I think we're obviously starting to round down. We had a lot of great ideas early on. There's definitely more to this episode than could be. But I guess we need to discuss then where is it going to end? Let's assume they get attacked. I think that's pretty sure to say. Let's assume the captain gets hurt in some way. How does it end? How does the season end? Throw some ideas at me. Let's see. And you guys throw ideas at us with $9.
The same way we said that Picard was going to end with this epic reveal, like, oh, we need some Federation help. Here, there's a ship incoming, Captain. It's the Enterprise. And you see the Sovereign pull up, and then dunk credits. You're like, no. We said that for Picard too. That would be fun, and at the same time, really annoying that you'd have to wait till the next season to see any guest cameos from anybody. Because it's right before the view screen comes on. You see the ship pull up on screen, and then credits. Could definitely see that happening.
What if?
No.
No, but wouldn't this make you a bit snigger on the inside? if the episode happens as we kind of laid out, and at the end the aliens come back and they gas the entire ship, everyone passes out except the EXOCOM because they're the one that can run the ship, and the EXOCOM is successfully doing like this epic battle, like it's maneuvering the ship in an epic maneuver that we've never seen before, and the alien's like, how is that pilot's amazing, it's going, woo! You know, don't know, and the Enterprise E warps in and destroys the alien ship, and it hails, and Badgie puts on EXOCOM puts on screen, and Picard's like, "This is Captain Picard of the Enterprise. Serious, are you okay? Captain Picard, this is da-da-da. Oh my god, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in years. Oh, I tracked your record at the Academy, EXOCOM. You're so thrilled." And it's just like fan moment, and then it's like, "Can we give you assistance?" "Oh no, we're fine." Enterprise he warps out. The crew wakes up, and it's just like, "Wait, we missed the Enterprise?" "Yeah, but we were fine." Like, there was no one sees her except the EXOCOM, and Picard's a fan of the EXOCOM. Wouldn't that be funny? That's Picard's cameo.
Yes.
Talking to
EXOCOM. And we're one of the crew, because you see our vision goes black and we pass out and we wake up and there's the EXOCOM and you missed the Enterprise. And as the audience, we'd be like, "What?"
Yep.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. That's the sort of joke that would work, you know?
Yeah. E.R. Mixon's craziest theory says, Trekyards, the captain dies and Mariner gets a promotion.
Oh, you mean a la Kirk in 09, from ensign to captain, yeah?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
How that works.
Well, one of the ladies she went to the academy with is now a captain. So considering
fair point.
Considering she's been promoted and demoted a few times, she could fast track that.
Fair point.
Crossover with Rick and Morty would be hilarious.
Well, I mean, and it's, that show's based on parallel universes, so you have Rick appear in the background walking through the scene, and then absolutely. I mean, that could be kind of cool. Or maybe maybe then you get the opposite in Rick and Morty season 6, whatever. He walks out of a portal, he's holding a crystal. Morty's like, "What's that, Rick?" "Oh, dilithium." From Star Trek? "No, from Star Trek." And he puts it in, and that powers the thing. It's like, what? You went into Star Trek to get it? It's like, "Yes, I did. Shut up." It's like, okay, Rick. Oh, jeez.
The List of Jericho. I still think it ends with live action scene. Not yet. I would say that's
1.
probably like a season 3, season 4 thing. Yeah. It needs to be earned. I mean, yes, I think they've earned it already because they've really done really well, but I think it's too soon for that, for sure.
It'd be super satisfying if it was later.
I
mean, it's going to happen. It's such a.
Or this season ends with them crossing over to some kind of live action thing, and then it's like, oh, we got to wait till next season to see the end of that. Great.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen, but that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have. I don't think we're going to have the whole crew knowing that the daughter is the daughter. I think that's too much of a multi-season reveal. I think we're gonna learn about I think Emma's gonna be in it. I think we're gonna learn if they split, didn't split. The first layer of that, not necessarily why, just if or aren't they together. And we're going to see that she likes her dad a lot more and like instantly changes. Like as soon as she's with her dad, she becomes really professional, and it's just like, this is really bizarre to see. And even Boimler's surprised. I think he's going to come and rescue them with the ship. I think that makes sense. Or maybe similar tact. I just thought something. We know that the mum gets injured. There we go. So the mum gets injured, and the doctor has to check the crew for anyone with compatible DNA. And
I was just about to say that, yeah.
And she finds out that they're literally compatible. She's like, "Mariner, yes, you got a 99.99% match. What a coincidence. Now she's your mum. What? It's obvious. Go over here." And so she has to give blood. But she's yeah.
It would be funny too if Mariner or Boimler was using his knowledge that she's the mom as blackmail over Mariner for some reason, and before he gets to use it, that very thing happens, and then all of a sudden everybody knows because the doctor announced it in front of everybody.
Be a more organic way of doing it, for sure.
And it would take away Boimler's power.
He's not a jerk though.
No, he's not.
But I think like that could happen. Should be interesting. So I don't want to see, because the thing is, Marinette is the hero of this story. So I don't want to see her take over the ship and be the one that wins the day. That's too Discovery. You know, it's a team show. It should be the team. It should be the bridge crew. They're all equal in their own way. So it shouldn't be that. It'd be really annoying if it was. They've missed the tone of what the audience wants if they do that. Boimler hopefully will be redeemed even more in this episode, like shown to be good. Tendi, you have to give her a bit of meat. I want that. I want some meat on her arc. And definitely a legacy character in some way. Something. Maybe even the prequel sequels. Maybe they're off at a planet and, you know, Keiko's there or something. Just because, like, it's a non-scene. It's like, yeah, there she is. You know.
The ex-wife of the most famous person in Starfleet, because they got divorced at some point. Melissa Jericho.
His new wife's EXOCOMPS.
Melissa Jericho. It's not Picard. It's Director Bullock. It'd be funny if it was Captain Bullock, voiced by Patrick Stewart. That'd be fucking hilarious. It's like a hey, gotcha.
Gosh. Obviously, Seth would give that license away.
Oh, I'm sure he would. Yeah, he'd agree to that.
But guys, $9. $9. Guys, give us your final closing thought. Any closing theories? We genuinely want to hear them. And tell us now. 115 of you watching. Well, first of all, 150 likes. If we can get another 30 likes, brilliant. But
2 likes. Let's get 130. 2 likes. We can do that easily. Come on.
How excited are you about this episode out of 10? And,
oh, yes.
And be honest. Seriously, be honest, guys. Do you think your expectations are going to be so high you won't be able to enjoy it as much? Because it is the season finale. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments right now. Well, comments and chat.
And also, yeah, last super chat slots available. And Sean O'Neill quotes, "Give Tendi some meat," was what Samuel said. And then he goes on to say, "Sounds like something the captain would say." And you're right. But yes, last super chat slot there. Let us know what you guys think. I can't wait to talk about the whole season and kind of reshuffle our scores, which will be on Sunday. Our drunk recap, which will be fun. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that and get us drunk. But yeah, let us know how excited you are for this episode. And if there's anything you think you'd like to see as a season 1 closeout or cliffhanger for season 2, because I think this is one of the shows that they'll do it on. I was surprised they didn't do it on Picard, honestly. Picard season 1 is wrapped up in a nice little bow. It can be its own thing and never have a season 2. And I think they might have done that because Patrick Stewart's so old. I just wanted to make sure that they'd actually be able to like end with the season 1. I don't know why they did it, because I think it would have benefited from a cliffhanger of some kind, but kind of glad they
didn't plan any further. We know that Patrick didn't even know who's going to die, spoiler, until they filmed it, pretty much, which is embarrassing. So, you know.
Brunt FCA, $5, 125 likes. Sam says, "I'm Commander Cockings, and I believe the ship designs in Discovery are awesome, especially the I can never say the name of that. McGee ship. There you go."
Well, I'm going to do a technicality there. Class McGee, the especially awesome R-Disc in ship design ship, or design ship, the believe I and Cockings Commander I'm. I said it. You didn't clarify in what direction of travel. So I said it.
And you can't even play that back in reverse to make that make sense, because you said the words in the
yes.
Wow.
So you could watch backwards words forwards, but not backwards forwards words forwards.
You're a dick. You're a dick.
$2.
I'll say it because he paid us for that. So I'll just...
I said it. I said it.
No. That's not, you can't do that, because then people aren't going to super chat for you to say anything if you're going to take that shortcut. No. That's not fair. He's Commander Cockings, and he believes the ship designs in Discovery are awesome. Especially the McGee class.
I feel like I need a super chat to make you say, "I'm kind of I disagree with the previous statement that Commander Cockings believes that we should super chat." Oh goodness.
Olivia Julius, $2. I'm the last super chat.
Cheers.
And Tuning 3434, no fake out, unsubscribe, boo. See, you got to say it. Just say it. That's one of the joys of super chats. I can never say whatever we want. It's whatever they want.
Still said it. Just backwards.
You didn't though.
And Mike says, the viewers expressed hereafter are solely the opinions of the super chatter. Yes, exactly.
You should just put that caveat down at the end after you read it. So.
There should be a little button I can press so the things goes rip on screen. The thoughts of this are the super chatter, not of the channel. Okay, we're done. No, it's good. Well, thanks, guys. Another good chat. As always, we discover, dissect, and find new things. I guessed it was an out-of-sequence trial like 45 minutes in, and I was effing thrilled because that was a really solid guess. And it didn't ruin it. Not a single episode, us guessing, has ruined it for me, which is impressive. So,
Flurkin's Galaxy puts in $1, hoping for that last super chat slot, and then gets dethroned by Trope Bum Wombat with a $5 super chat with no comment. Not only you're dethroned, it wasn't by a $1 super chat, it was by a $5 super chat with no comment. He could have said last super chat. He could have commented. He could have said something. But no, he just cut the legs right out from underneath you.
He just wants to be like, boom.
Then Olivia throws $5 in just to match it and say, Foley says, all right, here we go. I'm a pretty, pretty princess wearing a pretty pink dress.
We've heard that. We've heard that before, the pretty princess. I mean, Stuart, at a certain point, we are going to think you're a genuinely pretty princess because
I am.
You said it. Well, there you go. Said it a few times.
I wouldn't be a hideous princess. I'd be the prettiest princess.
You'd be the belle of the ball.
That's right. SWTX Chaser puts in $3. Time Warp Admiral Boimler of Section 31 appears. Bum, bum, bum.
I have also I did think that seeing alternate future versions of them, that would be a great way of having. I mean, I think a cliffhanger would be good, even if it's a subtle cliffhanger, kind of like with the green dot that went into Tilly, even they didn't know where they were going to go with that. They knew it was going to be something to do with Kolber. I didn't know where they were going to go, but it was a setup, so they had it in the bag. So I could imagine there's something kind of like that's going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Olivia Julius throws in $1 and claims the last super chat slot, and then she throws in another $1 and dethrones herself to get the last super chat.
I feel like that's down 2 last super chat slots. Therefore, anyone wanting to win the super chat slot has to do 2 $1 to beat her 2 $1. So therefore, if you donate 3 $1, someone else has to do at least $3 or 3 $1. I mean,
or just a $5 or a $4, just to.
Well. Yeah, it doesn't really work. It works either way. I mean, this isn't up to us. Yeah, this is a fight between you. We here enjoy, and you do what you look at the wallets and you cry, or not.
Olivia's playing the long game. Yeah, pretty much.
And guys, tune in tomorrow for Stuart's first reaction. I'm excited to watch that after the fact, like after we've done our day, because then I can actually watch it. Tune in, please do. There's such good vibes, and it's great to see Stuart's set. And then I'm sure we'll film as early as we can on Friday to get content ready for you guys. I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about, and expect the content all throughout the week. And then obviously next week I'll promote one more time. Sunday we've got the Drunk Live, the retrospective on all low decks with drinking, so get ready for that. We'll have hard liquor, soft liquor, and go through the entire season, good, bad, ugly, redo our score. That's always a lot of fun. And then on Wednesdays, our anniversary live, 6 years, where I'm going to be doing my costume changes, including revealing 2 new costumes live via Super Chat, so that'll be fun. And make that a bit fun. Again, that'll be a drinking one as well, and we'll look at the past 6 years and reminisce and have fun, and hopefully you guys will share it with us. It'll be earlier in the day. I assume it's a weekday, but be easier if it was earlier in the day. A little bit anyway. So look forward to that. And then join us for Stuart's first reaction on Discovery Episode 1 on Thursday, probably. And then our full first reaction review on Friday. And then more content throughout the week. So busy for us.
Olivia Julius throws in $1. Jeff Jacobs throws in $1 and dethrones her.
With a face.
Olivia Julius throws in another $1. Squadra Course throws in $2. Just got off my conference call. What did I miss? You missed everything. A lot, Squadra Course. Go back and watch it.
You missed 99% of everything of the show.
And Olivia Julius throws in another $1 to reclaim that last super chat slot. So,
I mean,
that's a good place to call it. So thank you guys for watching, and like he said, he pimped out all the stuff we're going to be doing in the next like week or so. So
Enjoy.
oh, Brunt FCA throws in $3 with a little next time and a hippo waving. So
We will see you next time.
that's right.
Thanks so much. Have a great
Bye,
everything.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
He's Commander Cocking.
He's got a Foley. Bye.
Bye.